Hello, online crew. If you are a social seller or a network marketer and you are confused about the content creation process, what kind of content you should be putting out there, then this is a video for you. If you're in this industry and you want to attract the attention of the right people, there's certain pieces of content that you should be putting out there to attract those people to you. So I could talk about this for ages, and there's lots of different types of content that you could create given, but there's some key ones that you want to continually talk about in your content to get that message through to potential prospects, whether that's product related or business related. So you might want to grab a pen and a piece of paper and write down these sort of types of content because you want to bring them into your content mix. If you haven't already, hopefully I go through this list and you're like, yeah, I'm doing that, I'm doing that, I'm doing that. And you've already got this under control. But if not, it might give you, a few ideas as to different types of content if you're not creating this type of content already. Okay. Now, a couple of quick things before I go on. Video challenges, you're getting close to the end. So those of you that are participating in my free video challenge that's going on for 7 days, you're doing it amazing. Credit to you. If there's any of you that are not doing live video, you absolutely should be. You should see the results of some of the increase in engagement that some of the video challenges are getting. Like, it's insane, like over 1,000%. So just want to remind you that you want to bring live video into the mix of your social media. And at the very least, I was just talking to, a network marketing team about this. If it's not on your news feed, go live in your stories. Like, get into your stories and talk into your stories. Put captions on it for people that can't, listen with sound. But definitely at some point in your socials, you need to speak. You need to show up. You need to talk. Okay. So, what was the other thing I was going to share? There was something else. Yesterday. If you are a coaching community member, make sure you catch the replay of yesterday's training where I talked about pin posts, different types of pin posts, where, what, how, strategy, examples. I gave you notes. So make sure you go and catch that training. Okay, so if you're here with me live, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from, and so I can give you a shout out. So, number one, your story. If you're in the industry of social selling and network marketing, we've all got the same products. Like, well, we're all in different companies, but across the board, like, you think of you and in your company, if you're in this industry, you've all got the same products, you've all got the same distribution, you've all got the same price point, you've all got the same compensation plan. So kind of like, why should people buy from you versus somebody else, in that company? It's your story that people get drawn to. So when you're thinking of content, to put out there, don't lose, your unique individual story, because that's what people get drawn into. So you are the point of difference. You are your biggest asset. Everything else is the same. The biggest variable is you. And what people get drawn into is the story behind what it is you're doing, why you're doing it, and how it's helped you. So for some of you, you need to talk more about your actual journey and your actual story than you do about the products and what you're using, or why you use it. Like, you might even be doing a good job of talking about, the benefits of what it is that you have, but you're not even talking about how it's benefited you or others. So it's the story that you've got to remember to talk about over and over and over again. It's not about the thing. It's about, the journey of the thing that people really buy into. Okay, so that's number one. The second one, and it feeds into the first one as well. What's a problem that you had that you now don't have because of what you're doing? Now, that could be business related or product related. But what is something that you struggled with that, now you've used something that's helped, and now you don't struggle with that anymore? Like that, you've got to talk about that over and over and over and over and over and over again. What problems does your thing or your business solve? That has to be a huge component of your content over and over and over again. Like, that is a non-negotiable. when it comes to sharing information about your products or your business opportunity, even the business opportunity. Don't just talk about the business opportunity. What's the problem that it's actually solved by being in that business opportunity? The products, people don't care about what it actually is. It's like what it actually does. Like it's, and how, and bring your story into that, like with number one. Okay. Number three, this is a combination of things like your team, your community, an upline, a downline. Like if you are in this industry building in network marketing or social selling, you're not doing it alone. It's not your business. You're doing it with a team of people. Like you've got uplines and downlines and sidelines, and don't get caught up on that. Like if you've got sidelines and you work well together, then highlight each other, work together, do lives together, promote each other, have gratitude for each other. Like if you're all in the same company, then rise up. Everybody can help everybody. There is enough people out there on social media for every one of us to have great success. We don't need to have a scarcity mindset. We don't need to go, well, that's their upline, this upline, whatever. Like, connect with people within your company and have appreciation for that and talk about it. People crave community. Do you realize that? People crave being connected to like-minded people. And if you're in the industry, do you know how that feels? When you connect with like-minded people in your companies as a team, like how cool that feels, and how connected you feel with the right kind of people. People crave that, so talk about it. So if you're not talking about the team that you're in, who you're working with, the people that support you, upline, downline, sideline, then you are missing opportunities of attracting attention to people that are craving community because they're out there. Okay, so that should be a non-negotiable, and maybe you could bring more content in about that, about who you work with and who's supporting you and the gratitude for that. Okay. Another one, and this will be like timely, but if your company has a promo, maybe there's Black Friday, maybe there's something coming up for Christmas, maybe you're working towards a trip, maybe you've just qualified for a trip, maybe you've just been on a trip, like all of that, you want to share it. So specials, incentives, maybe you've got something in your compensation plan that's really unique, and it sets people up to win like really early. Like talk about that. These are kind of things, if you're attracting other people from the industry as well, that they need to learn about and know about. But if you never talk about it, nobody knows the benefit, maybe financially, of working with you. So think about company, incentives, comp plan, specials, those kind of things. But for people to get interested in that, you've got to talk about all the other things first. So we're just talking about Black Friday with the team. Black Friday can work extremely well for you in this industry, or it can fall completely flat. If it falls completely flat for you, that is a very good indication that you haven't done the other type of content that I've just talked about. You haven't shared your story enough. You haven't built up the benefits enough. You haven't shared enough of what the problem was and what the solution is, and now what the benefit is to get people interested, that when Black Friday comes along, they actually want to try the thing that you've been talking about for ages. So if Black Friday comes and goes for you, you put posts out there and no one grabs, then you haven't been sharing enough of this non-negotiable content prior to you talking about an incentive or a bonus or a special, those kind of things. Am I making sense so far? Like it's all about the journey that you take people on. Really, really important. Testimonials, also really important. Don't flood your feed with them. Don't flood your feed with before and afters. People get sick of it. But you do want to bring that. It is like if you've got products that actually visually you can see, whether it's weight loss, whether it's skincare, inflammation, those kind of things, you absolutely want to share those kind of things, as well as testimonials. It might not be a before and after, but how the products have made somebody feel. No doubt you've got Facebook groups that have got testimonials in them that you can, you have permission to share. So share those customer testimonials in your social media often, because people need to hear it from other people than you. You know that scenario where you can say something to your child and they won't listen, but somebody else says it to them and then suddenly they're listening? That's what happens on your social media with the people in your warm market. You might say it and they might be skeptical of you, but if they continually see like testimonials of other people seeing over, a number of months from other people about how wonderful a product is and how it's helped them, then they'll probably start listening. So a non-negotiable piece of content for you in this industry is sharing those kind of testimonials and results and examples from people other than yourself. Okay. And another one, so I've got 7 of them. This is the second to last one. If you are in and some of you won't be, so this may be relevant to some of you and some of you not. If you are in a product-based company, then do a little unboxing every month. Every month you get your delivery, do a little bit of an unboxing. You don't need to share the company name. You don't need to share necessarily, what it exactly is, because people will just go and Google it and bypass you. But you can do a little unboxing and share with people the benefits of what it is that you've got this month. If you do that every month, you're sending a very clear message to people about the products that you're on, the benefits of the products that you're on. So it's about the repetitiveness of this kind of non-negotiable content that slowly sinks in with people. But you're missing opportunities if you're not kind of doing that unboxing, every month. So if you're in a product-based business and you're getting products every month, then share it. But don't share what it is, share what the product does. And maybe it's a new product and you can share like, watch this space. Like this is a new one for me. I haven't tried this before, but what this one does is X, blah, 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 blah. And I'll share with you like in a couple of weeks how I'm feeling on it. And now you're continuing the journey, you're continuing the story, you're continuing the before and after. You're sharing that journey with people, and you can start that by, the unboxing. So if you do that every month, then the people will get used to that, and that's a good thing. Okay. And the last one is actually about if you want to share more about if you're in the business of network marketing and social selling, even if somebody buys a product off you, you're still in a business of network marketing and social selling, is sharing, more about the benefits of, multiple streams of income or another income streams, or that Forbes has said, having a side hustle is not, it's not, what's the exact wording? Having a side hustle is not a luxury anymore. It's a necessity. The rising cost of living, petrol, groceries, interest rates, mortgages, rent, all the things that people struggle with. Do you know how relatable that is to your audience? That how often do you talk about it? So if you're trying to attract the attention of people, in the business sense, make sure that you talk about that regularly and what it means to you and how grateful you are to your company to help with some of these sort of business expenses. Like even if you're more product-based, it's still something that you can schedule in to your, your daily content because it's real. The more relatable you are with stuff that's going on in people's lives on an everyday basis, the more interested they'll get in what you're talking about. That's real. The cost of living is real. Most people have more bills than they have money. That's just reality. Most people live week to week with their money. So it's a very real conversation. So if you want to get people interested in the business side of it, talk about real issues that people struggle with every single day, which is that. So when you continuously, like all these examples that I've given you, if you kind of rotate all these different ideas that I've given you, but do it regularly, people will start to trust you more about what you're talking about. And they get that trust comes from your consistency. So if you only talk about it every now and again, the trust doesn't build there. They don't really know whether you're serious about what you're doing. But when you talk about something over and over again, you start building a little bit of influence. And you start building like credibility in what you're doing because you keep talking about it. But if you don't talk about it enough, like any of these things and ideas that I've given you, then that trust, you're missing the trust piece. You might be able to help people get to know you on your social media. Maybe they might even like you on your social media, but they don't trust you as far as building a business online because you never talk about it. And I find it really interesting when I scan through people's, particularly their personal profiles on Facebook. It's like, well, if you're selling a product, I wouldn't even know. Or if you've got a business on the side, I wouldn't even know, because I've just scanned like all this content, and not once have you talked about having an extra income stream online, or not once have you talked about a product that you're using that's benefited you with something. So it's all in your storytelling. So if you write down these ideas that I've given you and just think, oh, I haven't done something like that for a long time, bring it into your content. But not only bring it in once, bring it in regularly. Okay, so these are all really non-negotiable types of content that you should be bringing into your social media if you want to get more eyeballs on you about your products and your business opportunity. Okay, does that help? Let me know if that is helpful for you. Hey, Liz there on Instagram, and you're on Facebook as well. How are you in two places at once? Maybe you went from one platform to another. But thanks for joining me, Liz, Leonie, Jane, Beth. Great to see you guys here. Thank you for reminding us for these ideas. No worries. It really is about what I talked about yesterday. If you missed my live video yesterday, the third point in sort of cracking the code with content creation overwhelm is having some kind of plan and thought, and not just posting and praying. Most people post and pray. But if you have some kind of thought, if you kind of write down these ideas and have some thought process moving forward as to what kind of content you're going to create when, then you're going to be doing a better job of sending the right messages to your audience to get them interested in products that you may have available, or the business opportunity that you would like people to be intrigued about and reach out to you about. But unless you keep this kind of content consistent, you're just going to be missing opportunities, and it's just going to take you a lot longer to build that trust with your audience. Okay. So, Liz, thank you. I needed this reminder. Leonie, thank you so very much for these reminders. So I'm glad that's helpful to you guys, and I hope those catching on the replay that's helpful to you as well. So for those of you finishing off the free video challenge, good luck with the next few days, because that'll be finished by the time I come live again next week. Coaching community members, don't miss the replay of yesterday's training yesterday as well, and the 3 videos that I've done this week free here. So if you want to catch up with any of my latest trainings, if you just go to helenmartinonline.com, just go to my website. I've got heaps of free resources there. I've got my latest 3 trainings that sit on the website there, as well as lots of other cool content that you might find helpful. Okay, so thank you for joining me on today's live. I hope you go and execute some new content in relation to some of those tips that I gave you, and I will see you live again next week. Bye.